Only 0.04 of a second separating the top two men on the grid for this race. Sebastian Gostovski versus Josh Herring. Max Robertson third on the grid, from Riley Robertson, Leo Soliu and Ollie Everts on the second row of the grid. And then we'll have Austin Wilton and Charlie Bunn. No time set by Matthew Thomas, as he will hope to charge his way back from ninth and last on the grid. So let's see what happens in this second of our weekend's encounters in FIM Mini GP UK 160. We are ready for the launch. Gostovski to the far side, near side of your picture. And off we go. Up towards the first turn. It's going to be an interesting one as the riders charge for the first corner, but it's going to be a beautiful launch from Gostovski. He holds the lead into turn one. That was always going to be fairly tricky off the launch, but watch for Matthew Thomas, who's already working his way through the traffic, and he's already found himself up into P6. So Matthew Thomas has charged his way forward. Gostovski is your race leader in front of Herring and Max Robertson. Now, don't forget that Matthew Thomas should have started pole position for the first race of the weekend. He fell on the formation lap, so this race is all about taking something from this weekend. It could have been so much better a weekend for Matthew Thomas, but he's already on the comeback trail. So the three leaders, no worries there. Gostovski, Herring and Robinson. Riley Robertson and Leo Soliu have got Matthew Thomas for company. Then it's going to be Wilton, Everts and Charlie Bunn. But Josh Herring definitely going well in the early stages as the county answering man on his tail. Max Robertson is trying to get through into second position nice and early. We saw how this battle played out earlier on, with Gostovski snatching the victory from Herring and Robinson in the closing stages of that earlier race. One of the most exciting final laps you're ever going to see in FIM Mini GP UK 160, the road to Moto GP in Great Britain. The fourth place battle definitely giving us plenty to get excited about as well. The three riders there very close together. That's Robertson, Soliu and Thomas. And looks like Matthew Thomas is going to make his bid on the inside into Rib. Oh, he has to bail out of the move on Leo Soliu. He got very close to him. But as you can see, we've got two trios battling for race supremacy. A battle for first and a battle for fourth. And Matthew Thomas is definitely getting frustrated, sat back there in P6 behind Robertson and Soliu. So there's Riley Robertson in front of Leo Soliu. Matthew Thomas has made his bid, and it looks like he's got through into fifth position then past Leo Soliu. But can he finish the move to get into fourth place? He's going to have to work at that through the wiggles, I think. We'll look back in a moment, but for now, we've got to keep an eye on Gostovski, Herring and Max Robertson. So the three leaders renew their battle from earlier on. It wouldn't shock me if this is just as exciting a squabble as Robinson tries to get his run out of South Bank to dive in on the inside of Herring. Not close enough, too early in the race. That's too big a gamble. Into hairpin 4, can't make it. So back on the power. They storm out through the turns, and it is Gostovski, Herring and Robertson, and I can tell you it's Soliu who's now into fourth position. So Leo Soliu's got ahead of Riley Robertson, and so too has Matthew Thomas. But that battle has opened out a little bit as a result of that duel. So now Soliu's got just over a second on Matthew Thomas. They've split up the trio a little bit more. So it's Leo Soliu P4, then Thomas, Riley Robertson, Ollie Everts, Austin Wilton, and Charlie Bunn, who's still getting used to the class as he tries to dial in the bike. But the top three still close. Gostovski, Herring, Robertson in the background. That's Soliu, and that is fourth place for him. Matthew Thomas in P5 as Max Robertson tries into the wiggles, but it's not going to happen. He now goes into hairpin 1 and into hairpin 2. Can he storm up the inside line of Herring? Not when Josh Herring is using that racing line, because Herring is keeping it perfectly calm at the moment. No reason to get too scared about how things are going. Now he goes for the inside in South Bank. Oh, brilliant from Max Robertson. You've really got to be brave to get on the inside line of that hairpin. And Max Robertson will not only take that race position, but he'll use that move to boost his confidence and galvanise him for a charge after Gostovski. Here we go again. Out through the dog leg. And Gostovski leads Max Robertson now from Josh Herring in third. Leo Soliu still P4, but Matthew Thomas, look, is catching it big time. He wants to make up for his problems in the earlier race. And so Soliu and Thomas having a great duel for P4. Matthew Thomas has to go long way round. No way can he pull it off around the outside. He does! Matthew Thomas round the outside of Rib Bend. That is one of the overtaking moves of the season already. And it's only April. Magnificent from Matthew Thomas. No way can anybody go around the outside of Rib Bend unless they are absolute world class. And that was magnificent from Matthew Thomas on Leo Soliu for P4. Now Max Robertson fancies his chances on Sebastian Goslovski. Race lead battle continues. We already know that Goslovski is perfectly willing to leave the killer move to the last lap, but Max Robertson doesn't even want Goslovski a sniff of that. Out through South Bank. Here we go to hairpin 3. He just can't quite get close enough. That's a big risk. And even though Goslovski is the youngest man in the field, he's still got plenty of confidence, and he rides these corners so precisely. Max Robertson's going to need a real error. So Goslovski, Robertson, Herring, Matthew Thomas after that killer move into 4th position ahead of Leo Soliu, and then Riley Robertson P5. Interestingly, Max Robertson, of course, after that brilliant manoeuvre, now picks up the fastest lap. He's going to go side by side. This is the chance, and he storms in at the corkscrew. They both drift wide, and that's going to be the lead for Josh Herring. Joshua Herring snatches the lead through the corkscrew. Well, both riders were very close together. Robertson and Goslovski were leaving nothing to chance, and as a result, Josh Herring just snatched the initiative. Goslovski's crucially managed to get out of that position ahead of Robertson. So now he's going to be the first one to take on Josh Herring. Magnificent racecraft between these 3 riders. Now Goslovski's going to get a good run off hairpin 2. He'll get alongside down the back straight. He won't even need to worry about the turn in for South Bank, and that's beautiful. Great positioning there from Goslovski. He takes the lead back from Josh Herring. And in 3rd place, Max Robertson fancies his chances as well. Into hairpin 4. Not close enough to storm in on Josh Herring. But this is how close it can get in the FIM Mini GP UK 160 battle. Easily the most watchable class on the circuit in 2025 so far. Matthew Thomas still in front of Leo Soliu as we go into the last lap. And this is going to be tight for Robertson. He'll try, but he can't find the move on Josh Herring. So Goslovski still holds the lead. Herring still going good in 2nd place. Robertson trying his best. They've got a slower bike in front of them, and this could do exactly what it did in the previous race. It could shake things up. But this time it looks to me as though Goslovski's going to have no problems getting past Charlie Bunn on the way through. So that is more than easy for him to handle. So Goslovski is not going to be compromised, and nor is Josh Herring, but Max Robertson was held up through the wiggles, so that throws away any chance he might have had of taking the race victory, I'm afraid. So Max Robertson is absolutely livid that he caught Charlie Bunn in the wrong part of the course, but that's the way you have to play it in British mini bikes. It's never guaranteed. Working your way through the traffic is an important part of these races. And on this occasion, Josh Herring just did a better job than Max Robertson, but better than both of them was Sebastian Goslovski. He takes another fantastic victory here at Teesside Autodrome. 2nd for Josh Herring, 3rd for Max Robertson, and a wonderful comeback from Matthew Thomas to come home in 4th position with still, for my money, the move of the season so far. So Goslovski takes the victory then from Josh Herring. Max Robertson in 3rd, ahead of Matthew Thomas, Leo Soliu, Riley Robertson, Ollie Evans, Austin Wilton, and Charlie Bunn completes the 9-man field. But an absolutely sensational race from both Goslovski and the comeback kid, Matthew Thomas. Exceptional. Well, if you thought it was close in the FIM 160 class on the start